This is Anne-Marie Mediwake. Anne-Marie is an anchor for Global News. In your opinion, how does society measure success?
I think a lot of times society will define success by money, how much money that you make, what kinds of things that you have, intangible things that you have. They like to see how you look, what you're driving, where you live. Addresses are important. I think a lot of times people will think success is what I have, and people forget to look at your journey before you got to what people view as being successful.
How would you define success?
Completely opposite to how I think most people would define success. I think it depends what age that you're at. When you're in your 20s, you define success as if I have a goal and I reach it, then I'm successful, and you're always trying to get to the next thing. And when you get into your 30s and you sort of hit that place where you feel like the things that I was working towards, maybe I've reached some of those goals, that's success. But for me personally, what I would view as success is, am I happy with the person I am first thing in the morning and at the end of the day? Do I have good people in my life? And do I make them laugh? Do they make me laugh? And is my reputation as a kind and honest person? That's what's important to me, is how, I always think of if I were to leave a job, how would people describe me? And that's always my goal. I go backwards from that. If I'm going to leave somewhere, how do I want people to see me or to remember me? And then make my plan from that.
What giftings do you believe God has given you?
Let's see. What giftings do I think God has given me? Well, I think that I have the ability to communicate, which is such an intangible thing. Everybody talks, but there's a certain knack to being able to talk to a large mass of people that you can't see, to be able to communicate clearly with people and to not be stiff or stagnant or reserved, so that even though they may be hundreds of miles away watching through a television set, they still feel like you're there talking to them at your kitchen table. I think I have a gifting to be able to discern people pretty well. And it's by watching all the subtle cues around them, maybe not necessarily what the whole package is right away. I don't even know if I can describe that very well. It's just an instinct that you feel. And I think I have a good ability to make people laugh. At least that's what my friends tell me.
Is there an insecurity that you have that you're willing to share with us?
Yeah, there's one. I'll let you know when. I think, I don't know if it's an insecurity, but it is something that I find a stumbling block for myself. That would be caring too much about making sure that people are happy. So I will be affected by if I feel like somebody is frustrated about something or unhappy about something. And the detriment to that is you spend so much of your energy worrying about how do I make this person feel better and more comfortable and make sure that they're elevated and they feel good. You don't focus enough on what you're doing. And in the long run, that hurts you.
How do you deal with it?
I didn't for a long time. I have a process of dealing with what I view would be my insecurity or trying to make sure everybody is happy. I recognize now in my life times when that has not served me well. And so I remember that feeling. I hang on to that feeling. And also, I can feel it. Like I'll start to feel a little bit anxious and go, okay, just relax for a second. That person's got to deal with their own stuff for today. What do you have to deal with? What's important to you? And sort of talk yourself down backwards from that. If I still come home at the end of the day or come back to my husband, he's a really good barometer for me too, and he'll say, what's going on? And he just allows me to talk it out. So he's good.
Given the opportunity to tell your daughters something as preteens, what would it be?
I only get to tell them one thing? I have 2 daughters. If I could tell teenage girls one thing, it's something that somebody told me once and I held on to, and that is be you and be you big. And so part of that message is knowing what is you, and that means knowing what makes up the physical characteristics of you and your emotional characteristics and your intelligence, all of those things. Know that about yourself, and then just be it big. You will find that the people in the world that people deem as successful usually are people who haven't done what everybody else expects them to do, but they did it because it was them. So those are the people to admire. Those are the people to focus in on. And then know yourself. If you have a funny nose or frizzy hair or whatever, just go with it and just be you big. That's my advice. Be you big.
A place to learn that I am enough.